breastfed or bottle fed, and which one you should do. And I see it on social media. There is just an argument from both sides. You know, as long as the baby is fed, that's what's important. No, breast is best. There's so much nutrients and blah, 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 blah. And it just breaks my heart to see moms against moms. And I don't understand why it has to be that way. And I have 5 kids and I've done both. And so I'm going to share with you my experience and what I've learned from doing both. With my first, she was 6 pounds, 11 ounce. She came exactly 2 weeks early. My water broke naturally. Delivery was great. After the 2 days, you had to make an appointment with your pediatrician within, I think it was like 24, 48 hours, not sure. So we did that. Want to breastfeed. Like that, I think is every mom's, just about every mom's goal. Like, I want to try it. I want to experience. I've heard wonderful things about it. Let me do it. Went, did our first visit, and then she's like, we'll come back in like 2 more days. We just want to weigh her. So by then she's about a week old, and she actually had lost like an ounce. So I think she was like 6 pounds, 10 ounce. I remember the pediatrician looking at me and saying, you are starving your baby. You need to bottle feed now. And as a mom, your heart just sinks. Like, as a mom, especially a new mom, you want to do the best that you can for your baby. And to hear a professional sit there and say that you are starving your baby, that is horrifying. I was terrified. I remember leaving crying. It was just the worst feeling in the world. And so what did I do? Stopped nursing and went to bottle fed. I was so scared I was killing my baby. So fast forward, second baby comes along. She ended up being 9 pounds, 6 ounce. Yes, it was a big one. I feed her. By this time I have a little bit more information because I am really determined to breastfeed this time. And I will say, both times nurses came in, great latch, not an issue. I really, really wanted to try. And I even went to the lactation consultant that you can go to at the hospital. And this wasn't during my stay, this was after. You can go ahead and set appointments. And so what they do is they have you put the baby on the scale, and then they have you nurse both sides for a certain period of time. But they'll have you do one side at a time, weigh, okay, nurse the other side for a certain amount of time, whatever. So I would say this was like a 3-week period. My baby was always fussing, always crying, even after feeding. And finally the lactation consultant just said, you know what? She's a really big baby. She has a bigger appetite than most babies. Big babies tend to want to eat more. And I really think you need to bottle feed. Again, letdown number 2. What's wrong with me as a mom? Why can't I just do something that is natural, God-given? Why can't I do that? Like, it's such a simple request. I don't understand. Why cannot my body not do that? I don't get it. Fast forward, I have a third one. This time I have a little bit more information. So I'm gonna start pumping. I will say I was able to nurse this baby for 9 months, okay? This is what I've learned in that 9 months with pumping. I had to supplement, and here's why. When I was pumping, it looked like skim milk. It did. And literally that much fat on top, no matter when I pumped. I never had fatty milk. So again, I was a scourge. What's wrong with me? I changed my diet. I did the mother's milk tea and the lactating cookies, made my own recipes. I did everything. So I nursed for 9 months. I remember I was feeding the baby, and like 20 minutes later, started getting fussy because again, I didn't have fatty milk. So I did it again, and I remember a mom coming up to me and said, well, she just ate like 30 minutes ago. Why is she still hungry? She should be full after that. And I remember feeling little, like I wasn't a good enough mom. And so I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of another mom just shaming me. Like, again, we should be encouraging and uplifting other moms. And so fast forward, baby number 4. That was the longest one I was able to nurse, 14 months, but I had to supplement. And I realized with baby number 4, the same thing. A good enough milk, but it was skim milk. So it wasn't keeping the babies full. No matter what I did, no matter what I ate, no matter what lactation tea I did, no matter what. I was sad that I couldn't nurse the way that I felt God intended. And you know what? He placed on my heart, he said, you know what? At least you're still nursing. It might not be the way that you expect it or the way you think you should do it because society says to, but you're still doing it. And it just isn't the way that you thought it would look. And that's when I realized, you know what? I am doing it. I just need a supplement too. And that's okay. I shouldn't be shamed for that because my body cannot produce this full fat, awesome milk that my friends were posting on social milk. Oh my goodness. Social media, like, look at all this, 6 to 8 ounces. And it was literally like that much fat. And maybe, it was just amazing. It was incredible. Like I did have breast milk envy. Is that a thing? I don't know. I did. I was happy for them, because I didn't know their struggles. I didn't know their past experience. I was thrilled, but I was sad and like my body couldn't do that. I accepted that. And when I did, I stopped robbing myself of the joy of nursing. It just looked different. I had to tailor it to where I still gave them the nutrients that I could from me, but I still supplemented. So fast forward, baby number 5, same thing. Nursed and supplement. Here's what I want to tell you. Everybody's body is different. If you can't nurse, do not be mad at yourself. Do not be mad at your body and just sit there and say, you know what? I tried. And breastfeeding, I couldn't do it. It didn't work for me, and it's okay. And as moms, we need to love and encourage on other women who choose not to. I have a mom who's my best friend. She had baby number 2, and she said with her first baby, she nursed. And she said she was miserable. She was just miserable. And so she decided with baby number 2, she wasn't gonna nurse. She was gonna straight to bottle feed. And you know what? I'm proud of her for making that decision. She knew that she would be a better mom to her children to bottle feed. And I said, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Here's the thing, women. We need to stop putting women down for choosing to bottle feed, whether they can or can't, or they're just choosing not to. That is okay. The baby is healthy. The baby is being loved on. And that's what's most important. And let me tell you, I have a 19-year-old and a 14-year-old, and none of them ever look back and say, Mom, how come you didn't breastfeed me like you breastfeed the other ones? They don't care. She's healthy. She was no sicker than the ones that were breastfed. Listen, I understand there are advantages to breastfeeding. I get it. Like, I can tell you with baby number 4, when I was nursing, we all had the stomach bug. Every single one of us in the family had it except my baby. And I literally would throw up, take a shower, scrub myself real good, and just nursed her the whole time. She never got it. So yes, I know there's science behind it. I know it's great, but we should not shame moms for choosing not to nurse their children, whether they know that they will be a better mom if they don't, or moms like me who just can't produce that solid fatty milk. We just can't do it, and that's okay. That is okay. I still love my body. You know what? My body is amazing, and it's done amazing things, and it brought 5 beautiful, healthy human beings who I absolutely love and adore with all my heart, no matter how they were fed. We need to stop comparing apples to oranges with everything moms do. We need to come together as moms, as a community, and love and support other moms no matter what they choose. We need to stop being against each other, whether you breastfeed or you bottle feed. If your baby is being fed, loved, and taken care of, that's awesome. That's the whole point of motherhood, is to enjoy the time we have with our babies and to love them unconditionally. You need to do what is best for you and your family. And whether that's breastfeeding or bottle feeding, you do what works for you. and enjoy the journey, because one day they're going to be adults. And none of that we sweat as moms even matters. They don't care if they were breastfed or bottle fed. What matters is that they were loved and cherished.